wanted to do this test outside. I don't think I've done many tests outside in the daylight. This is actually burning right now, and you can just barely tell it in a few spots over here. You can see some vapors going on, but it's hard to tell outdoors about alcohol stoves. So I wanted everybody to take a look here and just see how hard it is to see. You can't tell if it's igniting those flames on the jets or not, so it's kind of a guessing game. I also wanted to take a look and see how the stove would work with a Heineken pot, to see if it would work without the metal top on it. This is the stove from Jarrett, or JP the Man 1, I think it's his YouTube name. JP the Man 1. Now, here's our question. Did it stay lit, or did it die? I think it's still currently lit, and we are outdoors, so we're getting wind, and I don't have a wind guard up. I can't really tell if it's lit or not. So this is one of the troubles you run into with alcohol stoves. For dinner, not such a big deal. You're usually getting into camp at night. It's dark out. Breakfast, sometimes you get up before the sun, sometimes you don't. Lunch, that's a big problem. You got to find a spot that's got a little shade in order to tell if there's fire. Another thing you can do is you can take a dry leaf and just hold it around the area where a fire should be, and you'll know right away whether it's lit or not. And in this circumstances, we can tell that it didn't even ignite all the way. I didn't have enough in the priming tray down here. So, because that is now safely out, I can add some more and try again. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off while I add that so I can be a little more cautious, and we'll try it again. Okay, our second attempt. There's a lot of fuel down here, so I'm going to light it and get my hands back. I have my leaf handy just to show you how it would look when it is lit. You can see that it catches the leaf on fire really quick, but we want to let that try and burn a little bit and catch the whole thing on fire, and then we'll see if it stays lit this time. And we're starting off at 72 degrees. I know it's outside temperature and it's growing fast. It was 72 a second ago. So, and it's 10:42. I wasn't really starting. Let me go ahead and start the timer. Alright, there it goes. And it's definitely boiling, because I can see it boiling over. Hoping not to set my whole truck on fire here. It's hard to tell where those flames are going, but I'm going to actually take this out for a moment, because I know it's not boiling yet. I had some trouble the other day where I actually melted my thermostat connection there, so I need to find one that has much longer without this. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I can really see it. There's a lot of flame coming out here, and it's actually spitting a little bit because it's boiling over. But I can see flames blowing way off in the back here, and now you can see them because the wind's coming. But the wind really affects a stove like this, so you have to have a windscreen, and this is kind of just a demonstration to show you how much the wind can affect these stoves. You can't tell from looking at it, but it is still lit. I'm going to try and get up a little closer and just show you with the leaf. Now you can't see that in daylight, but you can tell it's still lit. So these are not the safest stoves for daylight, but I just wanted to show you an outdoor what it looks like in the real outdoors. Okay, to see where we're at here, we're at about 1:34 in 3 minutes. And like I said, without a windscreen, there's no way to block the wind on these devices, so a windscreen would obviously make a huge difference. But I'm not really showing that. I wanted to show the flames and how they're invisible in the daylight. I don't think I've ever done a video on that. I know there are other videos out there about it, but I just wanted to show everybody on one of my videos that there are actually flames rolling around the front of this thing, and I can barely see them, but they are there. You can see it's even catching up here. I think for the Heineken can, this actually does a pretty good job. Not sure it's the most efficient way to go with a Heineken can. Those are ultra lightweight. This is not necessarily an ultra lightweight stove, but it is a heavy duty stove and it will last. You may not be able to see the flames on the camera, but I can see them on my, without the camera. I can tell where they're at. Just barely though. It is starting to get dusk out, so with dusk coming I can actually see it just a little bit better. Kind of floating around that 197 here. There we go. Now it's climbing a little bit. And obviously I do this with a windscreen, so I might try to do it with a windscreen in a minute here and see if the temperature climbs any faster. Starting to hear a little bit of sizzle going on. .211, 212 in 8 minutes. How about that? Not bad. Good rolling boil there. And done. I'm guessing that means my flames are out. The only way to check that for sure outdoors is to put something over the fire and prove that it is out. That was pretty precise, and that was a full thing of alcohol. It was filled to the top. That's why it was spurting out in the beginning there. So it's enough to boil this one, but without the windscreen it'd be close. So because we started at 70 something degrees, so on a winter day this probably would not be our best bet. Although with a windscreen I think it would make all the difference in the world. Alright, that's all for this one.